Hello, everyone. Welcome to our actual play for Cavaliers of Mars.
Yay.
Yay! So, Cavaliers of Mars is a wonderful game written by Rose Bailey, and it's you play swashbuckling individuals who have been living on settlements on Mars. Mars has been cities have been erected there, and life continues to thrive upon the planet. So, our story begins in the city of Vance. Vance is one of the largest cities within the planet, and it is in central proportion to Meridian. It lies in the intersection of several water canals and makes it a very, very rich community. Water is a very valuable commodity within Mars. The city is built on top of the canals and helps to create a surface with a network of sub-canals that go underneath, carrying freight and people. The city is monumental in scope and carved out of rock, red and white, reaching very high into the sky. The local inhabitants love to spend their days in the shade along the canals, enjoying the produce from the gardens that are there. And trade within the city is very, very good. The city is ruled by a prince and his princess, and has many noble merchants, families that help to support the system in the city. The prince has appointed a individual called the Dog of Vance, and he is the war general. Most of the merchants don't really care for him. He is a very aggressive individual and is known to overreach at times his position. And that is where we start. One of you receives a letter from a handmaiden for the princess, Titania. Who would have connection with Titania? Who would be interested in that connection? All right, so Felicine. You have Felician. Sorry, my apologies. Felician, you receive a letter from your friend. Her name is Aria. Aria is a handmaiden to the princess. And she expresses that she needs to meet with you and the individuals of your small group, Sunny, Lucio, and Cicera, who you are familiar with, immediately, as it is a matter of political importance.
Ooh. Do you love a matter of political importance? Well,
She lets you know that she would like to meet outside of the palace.
that's somewhat unheard of, but all right.
Scandalous.
Scandal. I do love a good scandal.
All right. So the individuals all meet. Zilla, you are with Aria. And oh, no. Yeah. No, you're not with Aria. You're with the group. My apologies.
Fair enough.
You guys all make your way to to the meeting spot, and it is in the gardens of, hold on a second. Where is it? The Hangman's Gardens.
Ooh.
Ominous name.
Yes.
It is exactly what
Wait.
you would think it is.
Oh, great.
It is a place of public execution, built around a very, very beautiful landscape. The juxtaposition is unnerving.
I'll turn to Zilla. Is this how you do things in Vance?
We all need our entertainment. Blood and circuses, of course.
Insist. I don't enjoy putting pearls on shit, but
True. Yeah. I suspect it has something to do with unrest and seeing how you at least have it better than others. Others being the ones hanging there.
And maybe if you gotta hang a lot of others, it says something that maybe there's some problems that maybe need fixing.
I've never met a problem that could be solved better, or I've never met a problem that needed to end in a hangman's noose, but
I agree. Point being, they have this beautiful garden, and clearly a lot of people who
frequent it.
frequent it, and a lot of people who, I guess you could say, are left out.
Or left hanging.
Or that.
So
It
as you
fertilizes the garden, though, very nicely, I have to say.
I don't have to say that.
So as you guys are having your conversation, you see Arya approaching in the distance. And she greets you, Felicine.
You can just say Fee.
Fee, okay.
Fee is fine. Her nickname is Fee.
Fee, she greets you very warmly and says, "My dear, thank you so much for coming."
Of course.
And
I wish it hadn't been somewhere as grotesque.
Unfortunately, this is the best place that I could think of where ears wouldn't be overheard hearing what I have to say.
Well, no, I suppose the dead don't talk.
Exactly. So, Zilla, it's wonderful to see you.
Of course. Thank you for the invitation.
I have a lot of trust in you and what I'm about to say. And she goes to Sunny and goes, "It's very nice to meet you, Sunny."
Can't say the pleasure's mine, but I'll at least be polite about it.
And
Sunny doesn't like this. Doesn't like being in the Hangman's Garden, if you can't tell.
Neither does Felician. So we're buds on that.
Yep.
So, Sister Arya greets you as well and says, "It's wonderful to meet you."
And she's a princess, right?
No,
This is
she's
the
the
handmaiden.
handmaiden.
The handmaiden. Oh, sorry. Okay. Honor is mine. Thank you so much. And I'll do a kind of a short bow, similar to that of what a nobleman would do, just, in normal conversation.
All right. She kind of nods her head back, a little confused at the treatment of being royalty, as she doesn't really see herself that way, but I have a very grave concern for the well-being of Princess Titania.
Oh?
And possibly the prince as well.
Oh, goodness. Both a prince and a princess having something bad happen to them?
That never happens.
What a tragedy.
Well, it would be less of a tragedy if it didn't leave Vance in a political upheaval.
You see, you say this like it's meant to make me care. I get that. But right now, I'm in a garden where you hang dissidents. You're giving me the feeling that the wrong people are hanging up there.
Sonny, don't be rude.
Would it calm your mind to know that it's not actually the prince that is ordering these, but the dog?
Ah, my family has been incredibly frustrated by the dog. Can't believe what he's doing to good, honest merchants.
Wait, quick question, out of character. How is it actually spelled like dog, or is it spelled like Doge?
It is actually spelled like dog, D-O-G.
Okay, I wasn't sure, because I know some people pronounce the word Doge as dog, and I wasn't sure if we had a Doge and a prince.
No, he is, that is his official title,
Got
actually.
it. Okay, cool. Continue,
Not exactly
sorry.
like this dog either. Just another
Well, every
warhound.
dog can be trained.
Yeah, but some need to be put down.
Well, tomorrow is Princess Titania's birthday. And the prince is throwing her a ball, a party. It's going to be in the Plaza Ares, which is hosted by one of the wealthy merchant families. Zilla, you would know this, as they are the family that all other merchants answer to.
Indeed, such a wonderful. I'm sure they'll be, promptly and delightfully feted.
There will be guardsmen there, but the Ares family has been very outspoken against the dog of Vance, even more so lately. My concern is that the security will be lax from his end on purpose. And I've been hearing rumors of the possibility of some sort of event happening during this party. I'm worried that there might be an assassination amongst the nobles.
It's a day ending in Y.
This is true, but...
Is there a particular assassination you're worried about? We are currently in the place of execution. Do speak plainly.
I am worried that there is a possibility of House Ares actually being the target.
The patrician of House Ares, the heir, all of them.
The head of House Ares, Lady Annalie.
Interesting.
Well, if you need hired security, I'm your guy. I mean, my rates aren't that terrible, and my record isn't that terrible either.
So here's the thing. Is that no other security is being allowed other than what the dog is providing. However, I have been able to secure 4 passes, my apologies, 4 invitations to this party.
That makes my life easier.
Makes it very easy. I am wondering if you would be able to keep an eye out.
Do you think it's the dog ordering the assassination?
I don't know. My hope is that it's not, because that's easier to deal with.
But also you could hope that it is, so that he could be one of these blossoms.
That is also true. It's 2 sides to a coin.
Of course. Every coin has 2 sides.
If it is the dog, there will be some political backlash in appointing him. And if it's not, then there is more treachery within the nobles that might be harder to root out.
I think Zilla got distracted at the idea of invitations to an Ares party, and I was like, yes. But she chimes in. I'll be watching the portents closely then, to see if there's any sign of such treachery.
I would be greatly indebted to all four of you. And you know that I have the ear of the princess.
Chris?
All right.
I offer that as payment to each of you.
That's nice, but I'm sure you could offer a little bit more. Something more tangible. Favors are great and all, don't get me wrong. But you can't eat favors.
You don't know how to cash in favors correctly.
That's true.
I wasn't going to say that, but I agree.
Maybe you guys can teach me then.
I'd be delighted.
If I can, I kind of want to try to read the Handmaiden, specifically, like, thank you so much for bringing us this information and making sure that the appropriate pieces are put in place to ensure stability within the house. And then I want to do a bow or a maneuver or some sort of interaction that would be normal for a noble to a handmaiden like that, and see how she reacts to it. I'm just kind of gauging her to make sure she's on the up and up, and because making sure we're getting all the information from her correctly, and see if she's trying to dupe us or something like that.
Yeah, and you are very, very talented in grace.
Yes, with grace and noble as well. So if I need to use either of those.
So, if you would like to, what would be your motivation for this?
I would say for honor, because I don't want to be misled into doing something that would be against, what I would consider good. I don't want to go into a party and look for trouble where there might not actually be one or be any.
That's legitimate.
Like that.
All right. And then your method?
Cunning. No, grace. Sorry, grace. With the, yeah.
All right. So you will add 2d10s, and then any talents you would like to add as well.
I would like
traits, I'm sorry.
I would like to add noble on top of that.
Yeah, you can totally add noble on top of that.
Okay, so that's 2d10 and a d8.
Yep.
And it's the two highest, correct?
It is the two highest.
A 10 and a 5.
Oh, yeah, you definitely got me beat. I only had a 7 and a 5.
Ooh.
You can tell that there is a lot of worry behind her. And that her intentions on protecting Princess Titania above all, even above the prince, are actually more important to her.
Okay.
And that is her motivation behind it.
Perfect. Thank you. So I'll do the bow and the noble posturing to read that, and then just kind of look at the handmaiden and say, your loyalty to your princess is admirable. And I'll just kind of, gently, take her hand, and we'll protect as much as we can.
Wonderful. So I can count on all of you.
I do not speak for everybody, but you can count on me and my sword.
I'm not much of a fighter.
I don't know, if you need somebody roughed up, I'm your guy.
And I wouldn't miss an Ares party if you threw me in the desert naked.
I don't think there will be any of that. Unless you ask very nicely.
We have no idea what goes on in an Ares party, my dear.
It's true, I don't. But if there are dogs to be tamed, I'm sure I can pull on a leash or two.
You might be able to talk and use your skills before the party and see if you can dig up anything. That is also an option.
That is a good option.
You get what you pay for.
Meanwhile, I am going to use my time before the party to find the biggest weapon I can hide in a suit jacket.
All right.
You considered instead offering your services to the dog and getting the biggest weapon you can carry out of a suit.
Yeah, I'm not joining any army again.
No, I'm not saying you join his army. I'm saying you hire yourself out for a night.
I don't think that'll be necessary. I'm sure he has plenty of his own guys.
Yes, dear. The point is that you make yourself seem friendly to him.
Okay.
It appears we might have a dog of our own.
Yeah, just maybe. But I'll see what I can do.
I'm not a dog, dear. I'm a bitch.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, thank you. Besides, I would never bully you into doing anything you didn't want to do. I just tell you to do it until you thought it was a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Oh, thank you. See, it's working already.
Yep. So that's going to be my goal, is to go find the dog and get myself in his good graces.
Okay. All right. Well, Arya thanks you all profusely and says, after this is over, we will talk about further compensation. But I cannot promise anything right now, as I don't know what might happen.
And I take it you have been coming to us of your own free will. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Princess Titania has no knowledge of this that I'm aware of.
So we are currently acting on the prospect of the goodwill that she will have towards us if we successfully prevent this assassination.
Correct.
I've worked for less.
I don't want to cause her any unnecessary worry before her party. She's
of course
already excitable enough.
Aren't they all?
Wouldn't want her getting too excited and, passing out.
I see she's of good breeding.
The best. All right. So she takes her leave, and you are all free to go off to wherever you need to. You have about a day, an evening and a day, to gather supplies, information. The invitations that were given to you suggest extravagant attire. It is not masquerade ball or anything, but it should be fun and party appropriate.
Yeah.
The more I hear about this dress code, the more I think I'm going to put myself in the dog's retinue so I don't have to participate.
All right. So who would like to go first with what they are doing?
I will let anyone else go first because I have a very good idea of what I'm doing, but I wanted to see what other people come up with.
I'm going to first thing get a shave and a haircut so I don't look like as much of a washed out drunk as I am. And then I will go and present myself to the dog, offering my services and my military record as some sort of resume, I guess you could say.
Okay, yeah, you actually are able to track down an individual called the Cur. who is a one of the hounds for the dog.
Brilliant.
I know, right?
One of the dog's hounds. I love that. Yeah, I will present myself to him. I'll make myself cleaned up.
Yeah.
So that my bitter anti-dog sentiments are well hidden by my dress and my eagerness to partake.
Yeah, and I mean you can easily get all of that with the amount of money you have on you, which is enough for you to have food.
Okay.
So.
I might have to go dumpster diving a couple nights after spending it all on clothes, but that should be enough. So yeah, am I like going to his office, or am I meeting him at a...
So you do know that there's like a recruitment station.
Okay.
It's similar to like a storefront type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can easily go there. That's a very public accessible place.
Okay, I'll walk right in.
Okay.
If there's a line, I'll wait in it.
All right, yeah. There's a little bit of a line. I mean, not everybody's clamoring to go join a war, or, go fight. But you do see some people who probably are down on their luck that really have no other options left over.
Yeah, I'm just going to be whispering in their ears. It's not worth it.
So after probably about 20 minutes, you're able to get through. It's not too long of a wait.
Okay. Just there's a receptionist desk, or
there's a receptionist desk, and they take your information and have you sit and wait. And once it's your turn, you get called into the back office.
Brilliant. I will go in the moment I'm called.
All right.
I will only sit when I'm asked. Trying to do my best to look like not not somebody who washed out of the army because they eventually grew so insubordinate it was too much of a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, the woman that's there shakes her hand. This is very nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
And are you here to enlist?
I've already done my service. I was thinking more of a role as a security or a bodyguard or something along those lines. As you can see, if you look over my military record, my combat history is excellent. I have top marksmanship scores, and you will find no shortage of recommendations from people that I have been bodyguard to in the past.
All right, she looks it over. And the reason you left the military?
An injury. But I've recovered since then, and now I believe that I am up to full physical capability.
All right. Are you looking for full employment, or are you looking for just to be on call?
On call would be better for me. Of course, if you aren't looking for that right now, I can absolutely take full employment.
We may have an opportunity for some employment coming up very shortly.
Brilliant. Well, you have all my information there then.
Wonderful. We usually do fill ranks first with those who volunteer for these type of things, and then move on to the individuals that we would contract per event.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can guarantee you that contracting me will be one of the best decisions you could ever possibly make. My record speaks for itself, after all.
All right. Was there anything else I could help you with?
I believe that will be all. If I do need to volunteer for this, and it doesn't seem like you'll be able to contract me for this, then I can do that as well.
All right, sounds good. I will keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. And I'll show myself out.
All right. And then the next Porschlup behind you comes in and sits down as you exit.
Okay. The moment I get out of that building, I'm just gonna my posture's just gonna go back to being shitty. I'm gonna drop the formalities of speech. Just
like, oh, that mask is horrible.
Holy shit! Yeah, I can't do that forever.
Yup.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I think that's all I need to do.
Okay. Who would like to go next?
I can.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Cicero will kind of walk around town, just sort of taking everything in. He's a bit of a wanderer. He left the nobility years ago to kind of walk the deserts and just go where the desert winds takes him, so he kind of follows that path, but he realizes that those winds have blown him back into that nobility that he left all those times ago. So he still has connections, and he thinks I think it's a good time that I start to use those. So I'm going to use my talent, Friends in High Places.
Oh, yeah.
It will exert one noble die, but I can gain a single piece of information pertaining to the nobility in the area. I would specifically like to meet up with somebody who is an old friend of mine or a friend of a friend and ask, ask about what the handmaiden, what Ariel was talking about. Have you heard any rumblings of trouble at the party or anyone else in the nobility who might have a particular axe to grind with is it the Aarons?
The Erez.
The Erez. Just who's out to get the Erez other than the obvious?
Yeah. So when you exert a die, it goes down by 1. So you would go from your, let's see here, you have a D8. It would go down to a D6.
Okay.
And you cannot exert it any further. D6 is the lowest that you can go with exerting it like that.
Okay.
But that is a absolute legitimate use of that. And you are able to, let's see here. You are able to get a hold of a individual who is a patron. Doesn't exactly work in the merchant area. They're more they like to patron the arts and theater and everything that makes Vance beautiful, gardening, all of that stuff, and is also connected with the Arez.
Okay.
While not a part of the highest of ruling within the family, they are still part of the family. You know Niccolo Arez.
Oh, okay. Niccolo, it's been far too long. It's so great to see you. You seem well. You seem strong.
Thank you very much. I've been working out. Wonderful to see you too, Cicera. How have you been?
I been wandering about, looking for anything that is worthy to be found. And
Are
today,
you still trying to find yourself?
not myself. No, I think there's so much more to discover in the world than just oneself. But today I found you, old friend.
True. Sometimes paths cross in the most mysterious ways, don't they?
They do. They do.
So what brings you down this path? Why would you come back here when you want to see the rest of the world?
Again, I just go where the desert winds blow, and Niccolo, I have heard something on the winds that is troublesome. I'm afraid there could be trouble at the party tomorrow, and I want to make sure that everyone's safe.
What have you heard?
I don't want to speak out of turn. These are unsubstantiated claims, so I just wanted to check in with you and see if perhaps there's something I should know about. Has anyone been giving you trouble recently?
Well, I mean, the hounds that work for the dog, they have been causing a lot of trouble in our park. And it's been a problem. Like, we keep our park open for everybody within the city to be able to use. It's one of our shining glories of our family that we can give back to the city of Vance. And the hounds keep bothering everybody in the park. And they aren't even trying to keep peace or anything like that. They are just seemingly being rather crass and distasteful towards the individuals that are in the park. It makes it a very unwelcoming place.
Can imagine. No one wants to visit a garden only to be roughed up. To what end are they attacking these people, antagonizing these people?
Well, we just pulled the money that we usually give to help pay for the funds for their wages, in order to expand the gardens.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I see. And do you think
My cousins were well-meaning, but they want the freedom to be able to do whatever they wish with the money.
Who controls them? So that your cousins, these are the prince and princesses?
No, my
No.
cousin would be Michelangelo.
Michelangelo.
He's the one that is in charge of overseeing all of the properties and the general wealth that we have.
I see. And if something were to happen to him, would the funds then be controlled directly by somebody else?
The funds would pass to the next person in line.
Do we know who that is?
Oh, well, so in order to keep from that whole, assassination of succession, there are a couple of individuals that it could possibly go to. Ryal being one, and Mirth, though that is only a rumor. He's been a troublemaker lately, and I have a feeling that if any decisions need to be made about that, he would not even be considered. And then Arianta would be the other one.
It's very interesting. Can't help but feel that perhaps there's something tied up in all of this. The funds being withheld, the dog's continued antagonistic nature towards you, and now these rumors I've heard of violence at the party tomorrow night. Will you be in attendance?
I will be in attendance.
Good. Be good to know that I've somebody there in case something goes wrong.
Oh, you will be attending.
If all goes to plan.
It's wonderful. It will be great to have you back with all of the other nobles.
For just one night.
We'll see.
Niccolo. And I'll, put one hand on his shoulder and be like, it's been great to see you, Niccolo. Take care of yourself. Drink plenty of water.
He returns the shoulder clap and is like, it's so wonderful to see you too. We should definitely get back together so I can hear some of the tales of some of the great sights that you've seen.
We would regale each other with stories all evening, I'm sure.
Most definitely.
Non-toxic masculinity.
Really? Because I'm kind of getting a vibe of, oh no, too innocent. He's going to kill us all. That's it.
Oh, I thought that was just me. I was like, this is the bad guy.
I love him.
Yeah, I like him too. I like Niccolo. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a pity when he does something evil and we have to kill him.
We'll share that
No, it's
laugh,
fine.
the shoulder the shoulder grab, and I'll leave him to his noble duties for the rest of the day.
Yeah, he thanks you and wanders back off. Back to the direction where he was headed when you intercepted him.
All right. To follow
Well,
or
like,
not to follow?
I was looking at my character sheet and saw the whole thing about numerology, which sounded pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So I know the best days now for starting a journey, for meeting a lover, for ending a life. Each day is full of little threads, and I know just where to cut each one. So I was wondering if I could do some sort of research and into the stars and the numbers of the day to figure out what seems like it's going to happen at the party. You know?
Yeah, you can totally do that. So,
And
what would be your motivation?
So motivation, yeah.
It would be for love, for honor, or for self.
Right. I don't know that I love anyone there, aside from, friends and so forth. Honor is a possibility, but, I really want to make a good impression for the party to go well, so I think it's going to be for self.
Okay, so you'll grab a D10 for that.
Cool.
And then your method would be with cunning, with force, or with grace.
I'm a little shaky on the distinction between cunning and grace, but I'm guessing this would be cunning since I'm doing research.
So cunning would be like your thinky bits, and grace would be your speaky bits.
So yes, this would definitely be with cunning since I'm trying to plan things out.
Okay. So you'll grab your, is it a D8? D8.
Yeah, D10, D8.
And then you're going to use astrologer?
Astrologer or numerology?
That's the best. You could actually use both.
Oh, I can use
You can
two of
use
them?
multiple traits. If they apply for something, yes, you can.
Awesome. So yes, I will use both of them. So
Okay. So you will roll your D10 and then 3D8. And you're going to you're going to take two highest rolls for that. I actually have to get out more dice too because I realized I didn't get enough out.
The game uses deceptively like more dice than you think it's going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that way.
So I put all the dice in my dice roller. Okay.
Awesome.
And now I have to take out all the ones that I'm not using. Okay, that's good. All right, do I have to read them off in any particular order or just sum up the total?
No, you just pick the two highest dice in your roll.
So that would be a 7 and a 5.
Okay. So I got a 10 and a 4. So you spent some time looking at your maps and comparing them with the stars above that you know currently to be happening above in the skies of Mars. And the zodiac there is slightly different, obviously. The position of the stars would definitely be a lot different than what we are normally used to. The zodiac for those that reside on Mars has a different amount of days attached to them and time and all of that fun stuff. So you're looking at everything lining up for the night of the party. You're lining up and you're looking at the time that everything is starting as far as you are aware of on the invitations. Even the location as to where you are on Mars, comparatively to the stars above you. And you do see that there is some plots afoot. There's multiple. Some of them you're fairly certain is just merchants trying to better themselves within the position of the city.
Of course.
Political treachery and all of that is nothing that is uncommon within the city of Vance or within almost any city on Mars. And you do see that there is some sort of assassination plot. There's some danger to somebody. And it's the signs are pointing to it's not what you think it to be the reason behind.
Not knowing the reason makes it all the more
Troubling.
and incomprehensible. Yes.
And you notice that there's also seems to be some sort of veil behind it, and that it might actually be the cover for something else.
Curious.
Curiouser and curiouser.
That is what you get with your deep dive into Martian astrology.
Yeah, indeed. I'll make sure to take notes and
Yeah, you were able to take plenty of notes on this. You are very well adept in doing all of this.
I don't think I have too much else to do aside from getting out a lovely outfit to make a good impression on everyone there. But
yes, your noble birth makes that very easy for you to decide like what is the latest fashion and what would be appropriate in that setting.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So I think that's everything. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just drawing a blank on what else I might get up to, so I think we can turn on to...
Yeah, that is totally fine. If you do remember something that you do need to know, you can always just raise your hand or flag me.
Cool.
All right. Last but not least, we have Fee.
Fee. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm going to get an outfit that will be terribly eye-catching. I mean, it is my first time in the city of Vance, but I'm not a rube. So going to go for something that is cut in the style of the Battle Sisters of the Damsel Messiah, but slightly more scanty than that.
Yeah.
So I have like the whole like sexy innocence look going on. That's the plan.
You can totally find a tailor that is able to make you rock that.
Great. Well, I would like to use my astrology to... Actually, before I use my astrology, I would like to ask one of the guards or one of the curs.
Yeah.
To see, to get a general idea of the dog's schedule for the next day.
Yeah. That is going to be a little bit difficult.
Okay.
Seeing as they generally don't give out their schedule.
Sure.
But you are able to find an individual named Solus.
Solus.
You know, Solus is actually a friend to the dog.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And he's seen around the palace, and he's seen wandering some of the gardens. And you could probably easily catch him down and talk to him while you are out and about.
I will put myself in his path.
Yeah.
And sort of link up with him.
Yeah.
Is he a former customer of mine? Has he come to battle him before?
He would have, yes.
Excellent. Oh. Solus, darling. So good to see you again.
My dear, what are you doing so far out?
I was invited, personal invitation.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. I would not have expected your reach to go this far.
Well, you know, people talk.
And there's a lot to talk about.
I was wondering if you could help something.
As best as I can.
I hear that the dog is quite lonely, but, you know, men of his caliber don't generally enjoy being approached. They like to think it's their idea.
You definitely have him pegged.
If he wants, certainly. But I'm trying to figure out how best to put myself in his path.
You would like to catch his eye.
Isn't that what I just said?
You know I am not very well versed in the intricacies of whatever it is you do.
No, you seemed fairly well versed in it back in Battlehymn.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess you've caught me off guard.
It's terrible. Aren't you supposed to be on guard when you're in Vance?
Normally.
At your job?
No.
Young woman knocking you off your job, Solus. What will the dog think when he hears about that?
I don't think he's prepared for the wrecking ball that is coming towards him.
Wrecking ball! I'm disappointed. I thought I was more of a scalpel.
That's at the tip. He won't see that one coming.
No, he won't. And of course, I'd be more than willing to spend an evening with you once I catch the dog's eye, but I was invited on business.
Of course, you need to take care of your business is priority.
Mm-hmm. But seducing the dog will not be as simple as going up to him and offering him my services. So I'm wondering if you could tell me where I could catch his eye best.
There is a small restaurant.
Small restaurant.
That he likes to patron a lot.
Oh.
And he goes there under a guise.
Does he now?
He does.
Is there a reason of him being ashamed for being seen at this small restaurant?
He's very, very fond of their cooking.
Hmm.
They are not very, very fond of his position.
So they don't know.
They don't know.
That's interesting because normally when you go to a restaurant in a guise, the owners are in on it.
You would think they'd be more aware of this.
So does the dog fear them? Is that why he goes in a guise? Or does he just not want trouble?
He doesn't want trouble. He wants to be able to sit and have his meal and enjoy it without being shouted at or...
That's very oddly folksy and respectful of him. From all I've heard, he doesn't seem like the sort of man who would be terribly put off by a cook with a frying pan.
No, but he would be terribly put off from a restaurant that is one of the only places that cooks the meals that he remembers from home.
Oh, how sweet.
Right?
It's pulling at my heartstrings right now.
I'm sure the one that's there.
Well, I suppose I'll have to sample the food that the dog likes. Eat from the dog's bowl, as it were.
You are better than him.
That was the joke.
I know. Why is he on your radars at this point?
I said I was invited for business.
Okay.
I don't kiss and tell, darling Solus, unlike some of us here.
There was the one time.
One time?
Apologies. Maybe two.
Get her.
All right. Thank you so much for your help. You know where to find me.
Of course. And may I make a recommendation?
Oh, you always.
I do think that you should probably speak to this wonderful tailor that I know.
No, Taylor, do go on. I love a good tailor.
I know, and the dresses are fantastic.
Divine. I'm looking for divine. Can we get divine?
We could definitely get divine.
Oh, good.
So you can speak with Parzivis. Parzivis, yes. He's
Parzivis.
Parzivis, yep.
Okay.
He's a tailor that I think would be able to give you a dress that is not only fitting for a woman of your beauty and grace, but also one that reflects your power.
Oh, I thought you were going to say fitting of a woman of your profession, and that would have also been acceptable, but you flatter me, Solus.
I know you are more than your profession.
Oh, darling, my profession is a wonderful profession. We're talking about astrology, right?
Exactly. Your name shall be written in the stars one day. If they aren't already and we just haven't found it.
That's my hope. Well, Ta dear, I will see you around. You can find me at this inn where I'm staying.
He will gladly take that information.
I will go see Parzivis next.
All right. You go see Parzivis, who is this little old man who is very unassuming as far as his skill. You would not think that someone who is very short of stature would be able to create these long, flowing, extravagant gowns.
Oh, darling, I don't judge.
Silken creations that almost move like water. So he ushers you in and goes, "How may I help you, my lady?"
Oh, don't. I'm not. That's very kind of you. I'm not nobility.
Everyone gets the royal treatment here.
So good. I'm here on business, actually.
Ooh, business.
Yes,
Good
well,
to know.
business and pleasure, but the two so often go together in my line of work.
How does that not surprise me? How may I help you?
Well, I am coming in from Battle Hymn to do some work, and I was hoping to get a gown for, well, I understand it's a bit of a rush order, but the robes of the sisters of the damsel Messiah are so simple and so elegant. And I was hoping to get a what's the word I'm looking for? An homage to that.
Okay. So you would like something that is evocative of the same silhouette.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Something that says innocent, but not really. Playful innocence, to put it politely.
I could definitely do that. Is there any specific colors you would like?
Oh, black and white.
Black and white. And fabrics?
I leave that in your capable hands.
Wonderful. Now comes the matter of price.
Mm-hmm.
My skills are not cheap.
And high demand.
And very high demand, especially if it's for the event that I'm thinking of.
Tomorrow night?
Yes.
Well, given that I will hopefully be preventing an assassination to one of the Princess's Handmaiden's dear friends, I'm sure we could work something out.
Do you need it to be versatile?
Oh, I'm not a fighter.
That's fair. I think we could probably come to some arrangement. Is there any place that I should bill?
I give them Arya's address. She said she was gonna pay us.
He recognizes the address and he goes, "Oh, okay, I will definitely get on this." He asks if you'd be willing to stand up for measurements.
Of course.
Puts you on the stool that is so familiar with tailors.
I'm very used to working with tailors.
And he's very easily and quickly able to get all of the measurements that he needs.
I'm sort of imagining like him doing the little anime jump around where he's like bloop, 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 bloop.
He actually has like a taller step stool that he
nice.
can get up to everything, and then there's another assistant that comes to help to hold everything down.
Nice.
So that he's able to get all of the correct measurements and everything like that. And since you're so used to it, he doesn't even have to really tell you what he needs you to do. You just do it all in the same order. He says he should have something for you early in the morning. He will work late tonight and then just charge the difference in order to get it done.
Oh, how much do you know about the dog?
Not many people like him.
I'm gathering that.
He likes to ruffle feathers, and I'm not sure why.
Well, most dogs do.
I know, but it's almost like it's purposeful. Like it's meant to be disruptive. Which is funny because he's one of the friends to the prince. You'd think that when he would want to cause animosity.
Of course. Fascinating.
I don't know, maybe it's jealousy.
Jealousy?
Might be something in his past.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sure I'll never figure out what it was in his past.
I'm sure you never will.
I'll never guess.
It's not like this humble tailor has ever sat in on discussions of private matters while hemming and measuring.
Well, I'm sure if this humble tailor is interested in business and battle him as well as in Vance, he might share.
Well, I would definitely be open to that. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I do know that the dog has had a past with several merchants. I don't know how he got to be friends with the prince, but I do know that he is not of noble or merchant breeding.
Mm-hmm. Possibly owes the prince a debt then.
Very possibly.
Or the prince owes him a debt.
That is also true.
Well,
So,
wouldn't it be a shame if he turned out to be one of those scullery boys who the prince owes a life debt to? It's always a shame when that turns out so badly.
it's always a very bad decision to owe someone a life debt.
Well, there is that too. I don't trifle with life debts, my dear. Never have.
I don't blame you. I've never
Men have owed me life debts before. It's not something I enjoy.
I don't think I would either.
I don't know what to do with them. They're always like, my lady, I will die for you. And I'm like, could you not?
Yeah, that I would not want to be in your position with that. I would think I would struggle with that as well.
I mean, I'm sure you'd make a fine astrologer.
You know, that has always been a talent that I have never had. I look up at the stars and I see stars.
Well, you know why courtesans and astrologers are very good at what they do, right?
Why?
We both lay on our backs.
You know,
we're both called stargazers.
It has been quite some time since somebody has stolen all the thoughts out of my head at the same time as leaving me speechless.
Oh, do you not have courtesans in your city? That's a shame. I've seen so many.
Oh, they do. They usually come in and ignore me.
That's terrible.
One of the first ones to actually talk to me.
That's terrible. Every courtesan should have a good tailor.
Everyone should.
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for the astrologers.
You are going to be the best dressed astrologist at this party.
That is my plan, with your help.
Of course. Is there anything else I can help you with, my dear?
No, but thank you so much. I look forward to working with you again.
I look forward to working with you as well, and hopefully building a very fruitful future with you and your order.
I agree. Oh, actually, before I go, do you happen to have anything that's drab?
Oh, you mean like common?
Yes, just some nice common gear that would flatter my form.
I have some things that, I mean, obviously we've washed them, but they've been left behind.
That I can pay you for out of pocket.
Okay. Yeah, I can find something and take it in if need be.
Of course.
So he goes.
I have an appointment at a small family-owned restaurant.
Oh, it's one of those.
Oh, yes.
All right. He goes off to the back, comes back with a couple of different options for clothing. There's some that's just like a regular like a peasant dress. There's another one that's like shorts and like a top, and there's one that's kind of like a peasant's doublet almost. Like it's not quite fine leather made out of it, but more like pieced together, kind of rough. a couple of other
I'll take the
skirts and
smock.
tops. Just a smock. Yeah, there's
I'll take
there's one of those too.
Well, the smock is what the present dress is usually called.
Yes.
So I will
Okay,
take
yes.
that.
All right. He lets you try it on, adjusts the hem a little bit, pulls it in so that it's a little more flattering towards your specific figure, and is able to put a couple of quick stitches in it so that it stays without having to alter the dress too much.
Thank you very much, Previsius.
I am forever grateful for your company and your information.
The pleasure is all mine. I will take a pause and let you guys do something if you want here, because we just did a whole lot. So I want you guys to have some time.
Well, they said they take volunteers before recruited mercenaries, I guess you could say.
They take volunteers within the army.
Okay. Would I happen to know the location of any nearby barracks that would be providing volunteers by chance? And would I know where their water supply comes from?
Let me take a look. You know that in the city of Vance, most of the water supply is controlled not by the military, but by merchants.
Okay.
And because it is a commodity, it's they usually have their own guard hired to protect it. And as a soldier, if you would like to expend a die for your soldier trait, you'd be able to gain some information that way. Or you could spend a drama point for some lore.
Drama point might be useful.
Okay. So you would expend a drama point?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would.
And so you gather that there is several barracks throughout the city, because the city is so large that they do keep smaller barracks instead of one larger one, in order to be able to have a better guard around the city and its outer walls.
Okay.
So there is one that's within somewhat reasonable walking distance of where you are.
Let's lessen the number of volunteers they can have. Could I perhaps procure, I don't know if there are rats on Mars, but I'm sure a little bit of rat poison wouldn't go amiss. Don't worry, I'm not going to kill the whole barracks, just enough to get them all nice and sick to their stomachs.
There are definitely poisons that you'd be able to procure.
Brilliant, this is the plan.
You would have to go to an apothecary or know of somebody who has those, though.
Yeah, I'll go to the apothecary.
Okay.
Hi, this is embarrassing. Look, I'm having some digestive issues, and I need something that'll really, really help. Like, really violently help.
Well, what are your symptoms?
I haven't shit in 3 weeks.
Oh, that way. Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably something that you should get looked at eventually.
Yeah, I figured. I just need large quantities of your best emetic possible.
Yeah, we can totally provide that. Give me 1 second.
Perfect, thank you.
So he goes and grabs something out of the back, and it's a glass jar about this big, about this round, and he goes, okay, you really should only take like a spoonful of this at a time, and even that might be pushing it.
Perfect. I'll take 5.
Well, this is the only one that I have.
Shit. Okay, this'll have to do.
So there's enough in here for you to be able to take over several days.
So in theory, this would be the equivalent of, say...
A diuretic, yes.
Like the number of doses. How many doses would you think this would be for someone, say, my size?
Oh, I'd say probably about 10.
Okay. This should be enough for now. Thank you.
For now.
All right.
I'm raising a lot of eyebrows here.
All right, so he gives you the glass jar, and you exchange money, and he waves at you. He's very confused as to the conversation that just happened.
Yeah. It's all for a good cause, I promise. Specifically the cause of making sure the potential volunteer bodyguards for the dog are not capable of being bodyguards at the time they are needed.
All right, so what would you like to do with this vial of diuretic?
If I can find these, if these barracks have water tanks attached to them.
They do, in fact.
Beautiful. How sneakily can I say, get on top of those water tanks and pour some of this stuff in there?
Okay, so this is going to have to be where you roll.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to be doing it for self.
Okay.
D8. I will be doing it via grace, which is another D8, and then I have a thief as a bit of a background too. That's another D8. Do you think thief could work there for like sneaking in and climbing up?
I would say yes, but I'm gonna suggest cunning because grace is more like how you speak.
Okay.
Kind of. I mean, I guess you could. I would say cunning more because you're trying to be sneaky about it.
Okay, so cunning is like I was thinking grace was like agility or whatever, but yeah.
Grace would be more agility, but you're trying to be more sneaky about it. So I would say it would be cunning.
Okay, that's a 4 and a 4 are my two highest.
Okay, hold on a second.
I'm about to get caught. Oh boy.
We'll see.
And that's how one of the party members got hanged an hour in.
No, I got a 1 and a 2.
Yes.
So you are able to make your way up to the water tower. You watch as the guards very predictably walk around the perimeter of this barrack, and you're like, this is so bad. Like it hurts your soul as a member of the former military.
Nah, I'm very disgruntled. This is immensely entertaining for me.
So, and you are able to make your way up to the top of the water tower.
Okay, perfect. How many barracks do I know are in this city, by chance?
You know of at least 3.
Okay. How many apothecaries do I know of in this city?
Well, you know of the one, and you're not from this city, are you?
Okay.
So yeah, let's see. You know the one. You found the one. Okay,
so could I spend another point for a bit of lore, like regarding, say, how many soldiers would be in a barracks on average?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that would come with the lore that you already spent.
Okay.
You spent it specifically on the barracks and the information for that. So you would know that about 50 soldiers are housed at a barracks.
Okay, they're getting a whole bottle. Here's hoping they all have weak stomachs. And then I'll go to other apothecaries, see if they have anything of similar potency.
Okay.
And if they do, then I will repeat the same action across the entire city.
Hold on a second. All right. You are able to find 2 other apothecaries.
Brilliant.
And you are able to. Well, let's have you roll for it for each one of them.
Okay, this would be for self with grace. I'm assuming if I'm talking my way through getting them to give me bizarrely high doses of a diuretic.
Oh no, not the apothecaries. Apothecaries you purchase, and
okay for they
look at you weird. But really, since you're only purchasing one vial,
Mm-hmm.
they
Okay.
really don't question anything.
Could I use my soldier skill to because I know like guard rotations and all of that? Would that be a possible usage to assist in my climbing of the towers?
It would, yes, because it would be you trying to time it out perfectly so that you can get through.
Those aren't. Oh, that's a 6 and a 7.
Ooh, nice! I got a 6
That's
and a
for
2.
1, and then for the other tower, that is a 9 and a 7.
Oh yeah, no, 6 and a 3. You definitely win those two. All right.
I am not a smooth talker. Instead, I am a water supply poisoner.
All right, so you have now caused 3 barracks gastrointestinal distress. And
This is so dumb. It's the dumbest idea. But if it works, it works.
I mean, it works.
Yeah. If it's dumb and it works, then it ain't dumb.
Is it dumb or is it hilarious and brilliant?
I'm wondering if the lack of water on Mars is now entirely Sunny's fault as a result of this plan. Like everyone throws it all out and they're like, "Oh no, we're dead." No more life on Mars.
And that's how Sunny accidentally killed an entire planet.
Great.
Now it's going to be understaffed, but I'll be among the few staff there is. So we're good.
All right. So your evening passes by, the rest of the night, unless anyone has any other pressing matters.
I have to go meet up with the dog at the little cafe.
You do.
And I was wondering about chatting with the other merchant, finding someone who's particularly gossipy to see if there's any other
let Zilla go
moves.
first.
Yeah,
all right. So Zilla, you're going off to find one of the other merchants.
Yes, I'm specifically looking for a particularly gossipy, the member of the merchant family who knows all the fun stuff. Maybe not the political things, but who's trying to catch whose eye and who's wearing whom and what they're planning on showing, that the kind of fun party stuff.
Yeah. So you have a connection with a individual called Siobhan Nassist. And she is one of the lower houses of merchants. Not specifically like bottom of the rung, but still in the lower half. As someone who the merchant packing order for the nobles is very intricate. So even amongst the low, you still have access to those above you in certain aspects and respects. So she is a very gossipy individual, kind of immature for who she is. Definitely someone who is not going to be inheriting the family business, but is one that definitely profits from it.
Excellent. Siobhan, how wonderful to see you, my dear.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you too. How are you doing, Zilla?
It's every day's full of light and excitement, of course.
Oh, it's been too long. Where have you been?
Oh, you know me, catching up with the numbers and keeping, burying myself in the books and so forth.
Always got your nose in a book, don't you, Zilla?
I admit I quite lost track of time of the days, which was rather embarrassing for me. Yes. Do you would you like to have some? Uh, I'm not sure if there's a Martian equivalent of tea, but like to catch up over tea and cakes and stuff like that somewhere.
Oh, yes. I would love to. Should we go through that?
Absolutely, I know a darling little place. Right
Oh,
around the.
yeah. So there is a wonderful place nearby, and Martians do have tea, and they have cake. So you are able to find a tea and cake place where she sits and with you.
I hope it is.
No, it's Martino, like gelato.
Ooh. um, uh, so, you won't believe it. I had to come to you right away after, of course, getting my dress ready. But I managed to secure an invitation to the house as party tomorrow.
You're kidding me.
Couldn't you just die?
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. I am so jealous. Even I haven't been able to secure it, and I've been sleeping with everybody to try and get something.
Oh, my dear. How tragic.
You would think that I'd be able to land a date somewhere for somebody who had that. Oh, you are going to be the belle of the ball. Everyone is going to be so jealous of you.
I certainly hope so. Jealousy's always fun. Yeah.
Isn't it though?
But I admit, as I was saying, I've been so caught up with my reading that I've quite lost track of all the delicious details of what's going on there. I was wondering if you might be able to fill me in.
Oh, I see. So you really haven't been able to keep up with everything.
I could tell you exactly what's going on in the rotations of the Blue Lady, but the and the Belt of Stones, but I could not explain to you a thing about who is doing what or whom. Yes.
Oh, so you haven't heard about the scandal of family Parthos, have you?
No. Oh, please do go on.
Oh, it's just delicious. So, apparently, House Parthos was supposed to be marrying into Niccolo's family, the Arez. And they weren't able to pay the dowry.
No, but
Dun dun dun.
Oh, isn't it just delicious?
Absolutely tragic.
Martian High School, my favorite game.
You'd think that they'd have more care than that.
Oh, see, here's the thing is that usually the dowry is negotiable. And the Arez weren't willing even to negotiate.
Curious. They do have a lofty position, but that seems strangely unbusinesslike of them.
It does. It's almost as if they were purposely trying to keep House Parthos in their place.
No. Oh, But that would mean then,
Yes. Do you see all the dots connecting now?
I do indeed. A beautiful constellation, in fact.
It was so scandalous when it happened that they actually had to cancel the New Year's party because of it.
No. But then
because that was supposed to be their engagement party.
But then wouldn't they? Oh, that must have sent shockwaves throughout all echelons of society.
Oh my gosh, Vance was in an uproar. There was talks about them withholding water and possibly even militarizing the merchants that held water and everything. It was just crazy.
Well, I'm glad it didn't come to that level of.
No,
disaster.
things were able to calm down just a little bit. It was just enough for it to cause a lot of birds to fly away.
Perhaps I should exercise caution when I'm at the party tomorrow to avoid
I would
a
watch
similar shakeup.
Speak to.
Oh, but do go on. I can't believe it's been so long since we've caught up.
Oh, I would like. Can you bring a date?
Out of character? I don't know. Can I bring a date?
It does say and guest.
Then, Siobhan, would you do me the absolute honor?
Yes, I would.
Yes! Clasping hands and jumping up and down in the chairs and stuff like that at the table and everything.
Oh my gosh, I already have a dress picked up. Wait, but what color are you wearing?
I was going with a sky blue.
Oh, wonderful. I have purple. It'll be great.
Perfect. Now let's talk hair. Yeah.
All right. So are you going to ask any other questions? Otherwise, she will just continue to jabber on about fashion and.
I'm assuming. I don't really know that this would be quite the time to ask about the dog, and given that the reading suggested that there was something else going on that that she wasn't aware of, Zilla's more concerned about kind of getting a feel for what else is going on behind the scenes. So I think that's about it, other than the catching up conversation.
Yeah, not a problem. Cool. All right, so you guys continue on speaking, and eventually you would part ways very amicably, and plan to meet up the next night once you are ready to head over to the party.
Excellent. Cool.
Awesome. All right, Jax. Fee, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm so ready. All right, so we're gonna go to that nice little family-owned restaurant with the smock. And yes. I'm gonna look for anyone who seems suspiciously out of place.
All right, so you look around and someone does catch your eye.
Okay.
He is an individual he's bigger. He's built. He's wearing what looks to be almost like peasant clothing, with a hood over, and the hood kind of drapes over like half of the face. And he continually just looks down and eats.
Stop! I can only get so wet.
He's gonna slide off the chair.
Sploosh. Love me a himbo. Well, I am going to get to the closest table I can get to him and politely say, "Is this seat taken?"
He kind of looks up and goes, motions.
Seat. I'll glance over at the menu. What does it look like he's having?
So it looks like he's having, hold on a second, let me pull up his information. He looks like he has some sort of a dish from Cairo, which is a place that you know to be also on a river, but is a very treacherous city. It's built upon thieves and liars. So their way of life is one of backstabbing.
Looks good.
It's about as close to home as I could get.
Where's home for you?
Pretty far away.
It's a shame being adrift in a city like this, not knowing where your place is.
Well, I know where my place is. Sometimes it's just a good reminder of where I need to be.
No.
Gotta go back to your roots.
And your roots are some kind of tuber in a sauce?
Clouded in mystery.
You're an enigma. I'll have what he's having.
All right. The waitress nods and asks if you'd like anything to drink.
Just water's fine.
Okay. Brings you a glass of water. And goes off to put the order in.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. You were just doing the gentleman in a corner with a hood over his head act, and I can't resist that.
That's what I figured.
You sound so disappointed.
Because that's what they always figure.
Who's they?
Everybody.
Have you considered not wearing a hood?
I kind of like the anonymity.
And yet everybody comes over to ask who you are.
Not everybody.
Not everybody. But you just said everybody. So it seems we're at an impasse.
You aren't everybody, are you?
I could be anybody.
Yes, but you are somebody.
You?
What do you want?
Well, honestly, I'd like a little bit of that dish that you have there, but I'm already getting my own order. So.
It should be up in a couple of minutes.
Well, you seem like a terribly mysterious fellow and therefore very important. So I was wondering what you know about the dog.
What about him?
I heard he's terribly lonely.
Where'd you hear that from?
Oh, you know, everybody.
There's anybody named everybody out there, they are in a lot of trouble.
I suppose we'll have to put out a warrant. Well, the dog will, anyway.
What is your interest?
Just heard stories. Curiosity. You know what they say about curiosity and the cat.
I do.
And I hear dogs chase cats.
They do. Who told you?
Told me what?
Who I am, where to find me.
I have no idea who you are. You're a mysterious hooded man bent over his dish of tubers and sauce. I was hoping to know, as a little cat, how I stay in the dog's good graces.
Don't get in the dog's way.
Oh, good, I can do that. Though you haven't answered my question, which is that I heard the dog is terribly lonely.
No, not terribly lonely.
No? And how would you know that?
Just private.
I would like to exert my courtesan career to do seduction.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
So that will take me down to a D8 instead of a D10.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll for that, or do I just do it?
No, you just do it. How would you like to pull this off?
So I'd like to sort of scoot. I don't know. Is it on like long benches, or is it tables with chairs?
There's benches in the establishment.
Okay. Are we sitting on a bench, or are we on two separate chairs?
You are sitting on a bench together.
Okay. I'd like to sort of scoot a little closer, just enough so he can smell the lilac and white musk perfume coming off me, and very gently brush my leg against his and say, "How private?"
There is a brief second where you feel his body heat actually rise. And he stops eating. He doesn't look up. And there's a very, very long, silent pause. And just before he speaks, your food gets put down on the table. And he looks at it for a brief second and goes, "Depends on the trust."
So what did you say this dish was called?
I didn't. They call it the blue flame.
The blue flame. I see. And if you approach it carelessly, you'll get burned.
That's one way to look at it. It's called the blue flame because they cook it over blue flame.
Creative.
You might find it to be a little bitter. The vegetables that they use are grown in acidic soil.
Is that why you find it comforting?
It's a good reminder of the traits that I learned as my family.
That's a shame.
Well, sometimes there's no place like home.
Even if home is bitter and cooked over a blue flame.
Blue flame adds a very interesting taste to it.
Sure it does. But you haven't told me who you are yet.
Do I need to?
Oh, I have no idea who you are.
I will share if you will.
Do you want to go first or shall I?
It's this whole thing about trust that I said earlier.
That doesn't answer my question.
If you want to show that I can trust you, you would go first.
See, that tells me a lot about you. Tells me you want me to bare my neck and see if you'll bite. But we couldn't do that in public now, could we?
Nope.
So, we will eat our meal in companionable silence or conversation as you prefer, and then I will tell you after the meal. After all, you wouldn't be eating in this establishment with your hood down if you wanted people to know who you were.
True.
And I can be a great respecter of privacy.
I hope you demonstrate that.
So we will eat our meal and probably make small talk or not.
I mean, he'll answer stuff. It's usually like awkward 1 or 2 word answers if possible. But he doesn't like ask you to leave or anything like that.
Well, as he does that, I would like to use quick read.
Yeah.
Which will take my astrologer career down to a D6. And I would like to sort of get a feel for him.
Yeah, you can totally do that. So there's no roll for that.
Okay.
You just expend it and it happens. So you can tell that he is a very private person, and there is something about the way and the reason behind why he comes over to this diner to eat food that for you is actually pretty sour. There is an interesting flavor in there, but it's like a weird it's not something you would actually do
prefer
again. Yeah. You wouldn't eat this unless you absolutely had to,
right?
It's definitely not up to your palate. But as you're looking into it, you're looking at him, and you can kind of get the idea that he's used to treachery and backstabbing and lying, and being away from that is actually more
fucking him up.
Yep.
More
concerning to him and more alienating him than anything else. He doesn't care if he's liked. He doesn't care if people like him. He wants to see the treachery and the backstabbing and the lying.
Right.
It's disconcerting when he can't.
Got it. Neat.
I love the juxtaposition of like the cold, calculating seduction, and then me just fucking dumping poison in the water supply.
It's good, okay?
No, it's fucking great. I think
all
it's
plans need different parts.
Yes.
Very important.
Skillful seduction, imprecise and poorly measured.
All right.
Valley Girl gossip, that was also very important.
Yes.
So,
Very good.
so Fee, after the meal is done,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
I pay for both of our meals.
okay. So you pay for both of the meals, and he would invite you to walk with him,
I will do that.
and because of your courtesan expending that and everything like that, I'm not going to have you roll for any sort of. He believes you, and is willing to talk with you. And should you choose to, as a player, go any further with it, he would be open to that suggestion.
Yes. Hell yeah, I'm doing that. We're gonna blue screen that.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. I figured you would do so. I'd give you the option where to stop.
But I'm going to, when we're far enough away, I'm going to give him my most winning smile. I'd say that I am Felicienne, the jewel of the balconies of Battleham.
All
And
right.
I am here on business.
Okay. And he will let you know that his actual name.
Ooh,
No, hold on a second. Let me pull it up.
fancy.
Is Soliloquy Wyeth.
That's a hell of a name.
That's a great name. Oh my god. Okay.
Never expected the dog to be named Soliloquy.
Soliloquy, yeah. Good.
And that his family is from Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that all checks out. But not many people actually know his true name.
Well, I will, as we have this conversation, I will, follow wherever he leads me, and I will gently point out that I do not have a partner for the Arez fate, and how terrible that is that I will be going on my lonesome, dear dog, and how awful that I don't have someone to go with me. And isn't it just a shame that, this is my first time in Vance, and I just don't have anyone to look to. And
after a lot of the very loaded hints, he'll sigh, and he will agree to go with you.
yay. Well, I'd be going with him. That's important.
Okay. That is acceptable for him.
Great.
All right.
Well, we're gonna go do a thing.
So. All right. Anyone else have any other things they would like to do?
I'm sitting by the phone waiting for the call. Just
Well, I mean, there is no electricity
Shit.
on Mars.
I'm sitting by the window waiting for the mailman.
Think like Three Musketeers style of where they are developmentally as a civilization.
Okay.
Mr. Sandman, make me some sand.
Three-headed carrier pigeon or something. Yeah.
Make him the
Sitting on the roof
cutest
waiting
man
for the
carver
three-headed
of
carrier
land.
pigeon.
there are couriers throughout the city, and very early in the morning, you do get a message, Sunny, asking for your services and to be paid double compensation for what they're normally charged due to the last-minute arrangements needed for the evening.
Oh yeah. Let's get it.
So you will be making a very lucrative profit over this.
All I had to do was poison like 200 people.
I mean, we're not saying you're the bad guy, but you might be the bad guy.
Just maybe. They'll live.
All right. So all of the rest of you throughout the day start preparing for your festivities. Fee, you do get notification from the tailor that your dress is ready for pickup. Jax.
Sorry, I had to like, bleh. Okay, dress ready for pickup.
Totally fine. Dress is ready for pickup. Would you like to describe your dress?
Yes, but first I will tear myself from the arms of the dog
Okay.
to pick up my dress. Because I assume that's what's been happening. Because he seems like one of those people who's like grumpy and quiet, and then you get them alone, and then it's like, rah!
Yeah, he's a cuddler.
Oh. I love a mastiff. Yes.
All right. So yes, he very reluctantly lets you leave.
Oh, I'll be back. So I'm thinking a dress that like has a long white panel down the front with the sign of the Damsel Messiah embroidered over the breast, and like the side panels are black and slit up to here. And then the back panel is that same white with like a little capelet sort of flowing off of it.
Yeah.
So very simple but very geometric.
Wonderful. Zilla, would you like to describe what you are going to wear to the party?
I was leaning towards something again like sky blue, maybe with like glitter to make it look star-like, sort of, but with like a storm, like from the X-Men cape on the arms, to be kind of this flowing motion to it.
Yeah.
So I think that seems, what I'm kind of going for with this. Yeah.
All right. Wonderful. And Cicera.
So I would probably make a trip back to a old abandoned estate somewhere in the outskirts of town. And as I walk through the empty halls, crumbling and the moss kind of growing up over everything, the Mars moss, that makes sense.
There is moss on Mars, actually. It's more than moss. It's more like a rust moss, but yes, there.
Perfect. And I go through there and I find an old wardrobe, and I go through it that magically still has everything clean and with no dust, because that's how these movies work. And I pull out a kind of pink and black dress ensemble with a big hat and feather, and I will go in with my most audacious outfit remaining.
Awesome. And then Sunny.
I'm taking whatever body armor is provided to me and the biggest, meanest weapon available.
So you are given a fencing rapier.
Brilliant.
Which is standard issue for the army. You are given dress leathers.
Ooh.
Which will help you if you do need to fight. But they are mostly there so that you don't look like you are outright a soldier, because you are not. Okay. So it is meant to be an assurance that you stay alive, but at the same time, like, oh, he's just hired. He's not actually us. So.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought my cat was playing with my background.
Oh yeah.
It has a tendency to fall over very easy. All right. So, you are all ready for the evening. Your the dates for the evening meet up with you, and you go to the gardens.
Is it
The
hanging
Res Garden.
gardens?
Huh?
Not the hanging gardens, is it?
No,
That'd be a
the
poor choice for.
Okay, because I didn't like that.
no, it's not the hanging gardens.
Okay.
So the Arez Plaza is actually huge. The public park is just a small portion of this area of land that this family has for really nothing but sculptures and gardening pieces.
Wow.
And so the party is actually not in the public park. It is in the gardens. There are intricate walking paths. There are gorgeous flowers and trees that are all throughout this park. There are many statues. This family loves their statues. Erected up all throughout the gardens. And there is an area where there's a huge plaza with a very, very big fountain, where they have set up musicians for dancing, a head table for the prince and the princess and their entourage to eat and to socialize. And everyone is welcome to walk through the gardens if they would like. And they are able to go anywhere within the grounds of the plaza. There is some security provided from the dog and the military due to the prince being there. But otherwise, most of the security is private, provided through family Arez. And you see Nicolo. You see some of the other families that you are aware of. Fee, you do see some former clients of yours that have traveled all the way over from where you have come from.
That's true.
And Sunny, you have been given a detail of walking some of the outside perimeter.
Okay.
You can make a pathway basically around the outside and then snake through some of the party. There is a place for you to get food that is away from the guests.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically have it's like a half an hour shift, and then you switch to another shift so that there's like a rotation going on. So it's not as predictable as to who is going to be in what area.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Before we actually arrive at the party and Sunny takes his post and we kind of start mingling and doing our thing, is there a time where we all four can meet up? Because we're all working together, we're all friends, we know each other, and obviously share the information that we all have found out separately, but also form a plan of some sort and kind of where we want to focus our attention?
Yeah, I'm assuming that when Fee goes up to go get her dress,
Yeah.
You guys would be able to meet up and exchange information.
Okay.
Is there anything specific that anyone is withholding?
Nope.
How much money I'm being paid?
Yeah. Reasonable.
Okay, then I will just assume that anything discussed, unless you say otherwise, would be known to the group.
Okay.
Perfect.
I won't be revealing all the gossip, just the more salient parts that mattered.
Much appreciated, Zilla. Okay, so when we found out, so especially from Zilla, you said that Nicolo had this thing where his family wasn't able to marry in. Do we think that, like, who do we think might actually be behind the more insidious plot, especially if the dog doesn't seem to be quite as horrible of a person as we thought, and there seems to be other things going on? Do we want to focus our attention on somebody else? Or split up? How do we want to tackle the party?
The dog being lonely doesn't make him any less of a monster, so we should be still cautious of that.
Absolutely.
But I do think we should be not worrying about threats from him. After all, I've neutralized the majority of his retinue, and I haven't been given any orders to kill anyone, so I don't think the threat will be coming from him.
Interesting. Okay. So one of the other nobles, then?
Probably.
Perhaps checking on the Parthos, any Parthos guests.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There are several Parthos guests here.
Yeah, you might want to keep an eye on them as well.
Okay. Okay.
I will be keeping a very close eye on the dog.
Okay. You can tell he is not very socially adept and generally tends to avoid most of the nobles there. He more sticks to some of the former military that are there, some of the actual guards that are there, but in general tends to not meddle within noble affairs.
As in the dog does not meddle in noble affairs?
Yes.
Okay. I'm still going to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, not a problem.
Could you say one more time? I'm sorry. So Niccolo is a
Arez.
Arez. And
Yes.
he was trying to marry into which family?
So the family that had been trying to marry into the Arez was the where is it?
The Parthos?
Yeah, the Parthos.
The Parthos. Okay, that's who you just mentioned. Okay.
Yes, the Parthos family was the one that was trying to marry into Niccolo. And you do know that within the nobles, it is usually the head of the house, whether they are cousins or brother and sister or direct family. It is always the head of the house that negotiates those marriages, not the individuals that are involved.
Okay.
So the evening goes by, and I mean, not really anything extraordinary is happening. I mean, there's dancing, there's a couple of people that are imbibing a little too much and getting a little too talky-talky. And, a couple people make fools out of themselves.
Hey, Zilly, you want to run point on the people being talky-talky?
Absolutely. I will definitely get involved there. Yeah.
I am going to go drag the dog onto the dance floor.
More power to you, my dear.
Thank you.
All right, so you drag the dog onto the dance floor. And Zilla, you go off to do your talky-talky stuff.
Yes, chatting up the increasingly loose-tongued guests, and especially those who seem inclined to be loud or enthusiastic or emotional.
I mean, all of the stuff that they're talking about is all stuff that you've heard already, but they're giving their hot takes on it or their opinions on it. And it's not anything that you're like, oh, okay, this is not anything new. I've heard this before. This is kind of getting a little excessive. Okay. And the evening goes on and all the rest of you keep looking for stuff and just stuff's not happening. And it isn't until the end of the evening when suddenly you hear a high-pitched shriek pierce out through the night. And you hear the princess scream. And Princess Titania's voice yells out, "My necklace, my family's necklace. It's missing. Where did it go? Who took it? Was it you?" And she starts pointing around. Guards start coming in.
I look down. Did I take the necklace?
You did not take the necklace.
Okay, good.
Is she pointing at anyone specific or just kind of like at everybody? Like, was it you?
She's pointing at basically anybody that has been anywhere close to her. And the guards start to file in through and start checking people's pockets. Sunny, you are pulled in to help check to look for the necklace.
As quickly as I can, I'm gonna try to duck away and position myself either near the prince or princess, because I think this is cover for something.
Okay.
This is a distraction.
Zilla, you notice that Siobhan's not anywhere near you.
Of course.
She was eyeing the hors d'oeuvres rather clearly. I should go look for her. I don't think all of them sat well with everyone.
They're not using the water from the barracks.
Oh no!
All right, so Zilla, you go off to look for Siobhan, and you go towards the end of the edge of the crowd, about as far away from Princess Titania as you could get. And you see out of the corner of your eye what looks to be blue robes or purple robes flutter and run off into the darkness.
Siobhan wouldn't leave this Siobhan said that she wouldn't leave this party if it killed her. So why would she run off? I go after the purple robed figure.
Okay. So you go after the purple robed figure, and you take off into the night. I'm going to need you to make a roll for me.
Okay.
So you are going to have to keep up with this individual. You cannot see, other than the purple robes, which are flowing as they run through. You cannot exactly see the face, so you're not quite certain if it is Siobhan or not. But you're going to have to make a roll to run through the gardens. There are trees and bushes, and it's nighttime now, so it's dark. So what would your motivation be to run after? Would it be for honor, for love, or for self?
I think this would probably be for honor, because I invited her here, and if this isn't her but someone else, then something might have happened to her and I'm responsible for her. And if it is her, then I definitely need to find out why. So I'm going to go with honor, because this is my honor is at stake here.
All right, and your method?
Method is, you said grace was for agility and stuff, but cunning was for sneaking or smarts or something?
So cunning was for smarts, or for being clever about something. Grace is both for athletic, but also for talking, if you want to be graceful with your words.
I think this is definitely a case of grace. I'm trying to keep up with athleticism.
All right, so for your honor and with grace, is there any other traits that you would like to add?
I think I don't know that merchant class advance is going to help, or maybe I don't know if I can use adept in this case, or if numerology with finding the threads and following them might be.
I would say with numerology, you'd have to have some time to study it.
Okay.
Like that's something you'd have to look at and look at all the threads is where everything goes. An adept, I think, applies more for stuff that you are comfortable with doing. So things
Right.
like numerology, astrology. You could even do stuff like academics or something like that. Stuff that you do on a regular basis.
So
You
I don't know that I really
don't-
have any traits that'll. Yeah, it's just going to be the motivation and the.
All right.
Do
So
it, do it.
You roll those 2 dice. I will roll my 2 dice. Oh, wait a minute. No, she's not an inanimate object. She gets more. What's her stats? There we go. All right.
It would be interesting if she was an inanimate object, but no. Let's go for this.
Well, you know. All right. What do you got?
Oh, well, I only have to choose 2, right? So
Get 2, yep. Unless you
so-
want to spend a drama point to add a 3rd.
Ooh.
And we have 3 drama points to start, right?
5.
5.
5. Ooh, sorry.
No, I did roll pretty well on the 2 dice that I.
Yeah, you
did.
can totally just keep it.
So I got a 9 and a 5. So,
All right. So I got an 11 and a 3. So here's what happens, okay? You catch up to her. Catch up to this individual. And you grab the wrist. And you turn her around, and it is Siobhan. And she looks at you with all the love in her eyes. And she goes, "I'm so sorry to have to pull you into this. But there's more at stake here than what you think." And she pulls out a mask and pulls it around her eyes.
Oh, fuck.
And her dress unzips, and you can see that there are thieves' leathers that she's wearing. And you recognize this figure. This is a figure in folklore, a figure that has been spoken about for ages by kids and, you know, teenagers that want the thrill of life. It looks like Aria Valentine, the famous thief of Venice. And she pulls her wrists away and goes, "We shall meet again soon," and runs off.
Womp womp.
Those at the party notice that as they're checking the people, looking through pockets, they have stopped everybody from leaving this area in search of this diamond. Sunny, you notice someone in the crowd. You notice it's Niccolo, and he doesn't look good. In fact, he looks very sick.
Oh, I'll rush over to him.
Okay.
Niccolo, Niccolo, what's wrong?
I suddenly don't feel very well. And he just kind of doubles over and collapses to the ground.
I'll try to catch him, underneath the arms to make sure he doesn't fall and actually hurt himself.
Yeah.
And then kind of do a quick check him over really quick, see what I can tell immediately. Does it seem like poison or something? Does he have any marks on him?
Yeah, is there a roll that you would like to make for that?
Let's see. So I don't have a talent that would really help with that.
You can, let me do this. You can expend a drama point to add a d4. You can rally. You can add a plot twist. You can do an exceptional action, which means that you add a third die to your dice roll for your total.
Okay. For the first drama point, I won't go too crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll do for love of my friend.
Yeah.
And I'll say if I can with grace to kind of like check him over and look for specifically like, you know, marks or punctures or if he was poisoned somehow, like that. Again, just kind of like trying to pat him down, check him over, anything like that. Because that's really kind of what I would imagine how I would know poison. I'm not going to be able to like medically examine him really quickly. So love is a D8. Grace is a D10. And then I'll add the D4 for my drama point.
Okay, cool.
Oh, no. It's 2 1s and a 2. So 2 and 1. Yikes.
Oh. Okay, so let's see here. You can spend another one for a plot twist.
Then, yeah, let's drop another plot twist. And as I'm looking him over, I can just kind of put in what I want to, right? With the plot twist.
You can. What I will first intervene as GM is that if any of the player characters have any medicine or anything they'd like to try and help out with, at this point you can intervene using the plot twist. If not, then you can narrate. Does anyone have anything or no?
Nope.
No. All right.
I mean, if somebody collapsed, I'm probably going to be very concerned, but beyond that, I'm just going to make sure no one pulls any murdery shit.
Yeah, now if only there was someone who would visit every single apothecary in the city. Unfortunately, I don't have any stuff either that would help here.
So, Sunny, your intervention would be to clear a path for somebody to come through.
Yeah, I will. I'll yell and make way.
And Sister, how would you like your twist of fate to go?
I think okay. So I want to kind of check him over, and I don't find anything at first, and then I'll get to his. I'll kind of take his hand, you know, just be like, it's gonna be okay, it'll be fine. And then I feel something, and when I turn it over, he has like just this little scratch that runs down his palm.
Yeah.
And when I look at it, it has just this slight kind of shimmer of poison on it. So somewhere during the party, someone scraped him with some sort of poison apparatus.
Yep. Okay. All right, so you know exactly where he was poisoned. A doctor comes over, and with Sunny helping to clear everything out, you are able to get your friend the medical attention that he needs. And the doctors are able to find the antidote thanks to your quick eyes and seeing exactly where this was, and the silvery compound that you found there was able to be identified very quickly.
Okay.
So he is sick, but no longer dying.
Perfect. Is he conscious?
Go ahead.
Is he conscious?
He is conscious, yes. Okay. He is in a lot of pain, but he is conscious.
Niccolo, look at me. Look into my eyes. Who did this? Who came up to you tonight? You have to know. Someone wants you dead. Who is it? I'll find them. I will find them and avenge you.
Oh, he's kind of moans, and there's a name softly on his lips.
I lean in closer.
He goes, it was her. The one who I was supposed to marry.
Fuck.
I'll squeeze his hand one more time.
Yep.
We'll make sure. Just, you stay strong. They'll take care of you.
All right. Yeah. And at that point, he kind of just like passes out. There's no X's over his eyes. He's still breathing.
I'll run as quickly as I can, holding the hilt of my sword. It's still sheathed. Just kind of running through and seeing if I can find any of the three of them.
Yeah, I believe you.
Very easily spotted.
Yep.
Right.
Fee has not made herself very,
Inconspicuous
at all.
No.
Sunny is easily spotted with his leathers, but you don't see Zilla anywhere.
Okay. I'm sure Zilla's doing important work, but I'll look to Harry, to Sunny, and I'll look to Fee, and I'll just kind of yell, "Quick! We've got to find them! Quick!"
Okay, I'm coming.
I just look slowly at the dog.
Okay. He motions for you to be able to go, that he's okay. He's going to be helping with security. He's going to step up and help manage things and keep everybody calm.
Well, I will go have a seat with the princess then.
Okay.
I will look to her and I say, "Did you know that Niccolo was poisoned by..." Did you tell us this, Cicera?
If I can kind of maneuver through the people and tell them more directly, I wouldn't yell it out over the crowd, but if I can get that information to them, then yes, I would tell you.
Okay. So.
Yeah, you guys are able to work well enough together to be able to accomplish that.
Okay.
Cool. So I will go sit next to the princess and sort of do my whole lounging thing. So, did you hear Niccolo Arras was... he's an Arras, right?
Yes, he is.
He was poisoned by the woman he was supposed to marry?
Is he okay?
Well, he's passed out.
But he's alive?
Seems like.
Oh, thank goodness. This whole thing was a mess.
Oh, I think it was quite good up until now.
I don't even know when I lost it.
Is that what you're concerned about, my lady? One of your guests is dying and you're concerned about your necklace?
My heart aches for Niccolo, and I don't want to add to the confusion. But the necklace has been in my family since we colonized Mars.
So have another one made.
Can't get diamonds from Earth anymore.
So have one from Mars made. Maybe we'll colonize Venus. Necklaces can be replaced, my lady. Lives cannot.
No, and I will make sure that Niccolo gets the best care.
Thank you. I will give her my most winning smile.
He is very dear to me. And I would hate for anything to happen to him.
Hold up. I would like to make a roll to see exactly how dear to her is dear to me.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right, I am going to use... I think this is for self. Because this is information for me.
Yep.
With cunning.
Makes sense.
And we will use our courtesan, because this is how I get shit done. So
that is very fair.
That is a D10 and 2 D8s. So hold on 1 second. Okay, so I have a 9 and an 8.
Okay. Hold on a second. Ooh, I have an 11 and a 6.
Ooh.
All right. So you definitely get the sensation that Niccolo is close to her. However, you are still iffy as to whether his death actually takes priority to her or not.
Awkward.
Yes.
The Parthas family, that's who the other family is, correct?
Yes.
How well do you know the Parthases, my lady?
I mean, we meet with them every once in a while. They are not extremely far up for us to have a lot of contact.
Interesting. And we think the Parthases may have tried to kill him for not being able to arrange that marriage.
Really?
Fascinating.
Do you have proof?
Oh, no. Just idle speculation.
Okay.
What else are we going to do up here on this dais? Would you like to cut over to the people doing the stuff?
Yeah, she just kind of sits and laments, does the weepy, wealthy woman thing.
Oh yeah, I'll put up with her caroning.
All right, so Zilla, you now make your way back to the party, knowing full well that your friend was the one that took the jewels.
Honestly, if she wanted a necklace, she could find one easily. Yeah. So I search for the others and maybe run into them while they're searching the party or garden.
Yeah. So Cicera and Sunny, are the two of you doing anything?
Yes. I believe we have been. I believe Sister wants to search the gardens.
Gotcha.
For Niccolo.
All right. Yeah, you guys.
For his fiance.
For his fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or her guards. You know, anything that we can find to identify her. If he's identified her as the poisoner, I would like to go with Sunny and search for her as much as possible.
Okay.
Sticking together because there's treachery afoot.
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys head on out, you guys do meet up with Zilla on the way.
Oh, Zilla, perfect. Glad you could join us again. We've identified a culprit. There was an assassination attempt. We're looking for them now. You can come with us or see what Fee's up to. We're not sure. She stayed behind.
An assassination attempt in addition to the theft of the necklace?
Yes. No, we're not sure if they're connected or not. I completely forgot about the necklace. Oh my. Wow.
I managed to chase down the thief before she got away, and it does not look good for me, since apparently my +1 for the evening was also the legendary burglar Aria.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We'll raise an eyebrow to that. That's quite a tale, Zilla. Oh my. Think not of that. This is not your fault. Someone else used you to their advantage, and we'll vouch for you in any way that we can. For now, we have to stop a murderer. attempted murderer. Murder.
So what signs are we looking for here? I can't believe I missed the stars telling me that there were things not being what they seemed. No?
If I remember what you told me, you saw many things happening all at once. It had to have been confusing and disorienting. You saw everything at once, and it's hard to cipher through. We're looking for, and I'll say her name. I'm sorry, I forgot.
It's Zarina Parthos.
Zarina. We're looking for Zarina. If we've seen her this evening, I'll describe what she's wearing, and how her guards might dress if they're here as well. Do you want to come with us?
I will join you. Yes. She is working elsewhere.
Yeah, she stayed behind doing what Fee does best, gaining more information, I assume.
Very well. We can catch up with her later, I presume.
She can more than handle herself.
That is true. Perhaps better than any of us.
And we'll take off. So you said this is a really massive garden, right?
This is a very massive garden.
Okay. Sunny, you've walked the perimeter. Is there anything you saw that might work as a escape route outside of the main gates? Obviously, if she's attempted a murder, she's not going to use the front door. Did you see anything?
Sunny?
I haven't seen anything. I'm trying to think. Once the chaos started, the accusation, I immediately ran over to the princess because I believed it was a ploy to draw the guards away.
Is there anything?
Perhaps.
Oh, please.
I was saying perhaps we could get to a higher elevation. Or I could do that. I could climb up something. See if I can see them from up on high.
There are several trees and statues around the area.
Brilliant. I'll find the tallest one and scamper up it.
All right. So you do find a very tall tree that you were able to scamper up.
Perfect. Do I see anything that looks like people fleeing the scene?
You do see that there is some movement up on the horizon. Sometimes the sky is not super dark in an area. You can still kind of see silhouettes. You can see that up on the horizon in the distance.
Okay. I think I have our culprits, perhaps, but I'm not 100% sure. Is there any way I could use a sharp eyes skill trait to get a clearer view, discern shapes better?
Yeah, so what you can do is either expend a dice for that, or you can make a roll and chance it.
I'll just expend a dice.
Okay. So that is the only dice that you can expend. You can't use that trait any further for the evening, though.
Okay.
And as you look, you do see that it looks like the guards have the Parthos insignia on them.
All right. I'm going to point everyone in that direction then.
All right.
And let's get moving.
I will.
So you scamper on down.
I would actually like to, now that he's given me the direction, I don't want them to get away from us, and I don't want to split us up because I know treachery afoot, as I mentioned, but I don't want them to get away, so I want to slow them down as much as possible. Can I use my fast footwork to actually be able to move up to 2 spaces on the map and use a stunt die to do that?
Yes,
that lets me cover multiple sections of the map in a single move.
Yep. Yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay.
So yep, you'll make a roll.
Okay. So, sorry. What is the stunt die? Is a D10, right?
Yes, it is a D10.
Okay. So, I can do that equal to my speed. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead and use all 3 on this move.
Okay.
Okay.
And then your motivation and method.
Motivation is for honor. I'm going to catch my. I'm going to catch the person who tried to kill my friend, and then with grace as well.
Okay.
Because again, this is just running with fleet of foot and using any footwork I know to just move very quickly.
Yep.
So I'm rolling 3 stunt D10 and a D10 for honor. Does the exertion of the grace come before or after this roll?
It can come before.
It comes before? Okay, so
technically it's during, so it would be come into effect after. My apologies.
Okay, no problem. All right, so 5d10.
All right.
A 10 and an 8 were my top 2.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how much that allows me to move.
Okay, so what that does is that allows you to move a fair decent amount, and you're able to actually place yourself and anticipate where they're going to go. You're able to run around the shadows and find yourself in front of them.
So I want to just kind of take off from the rest of them. I'm like, I'll cut them off and just run ahead as quick as possible with the blazing speed, come out from the shadows and under the bushes and stand ahead of them, kind of sideways to them.
Yeah.
The hat kind of cocked and the feather kind of up in the silhouette against the moon. And
Nice.
Then I will, you go no farther, assassin, and I'll pull out the short sword and from behind my back, a once ceremonial dagger that has long lost any jewels or gold in its handle. It's been just beat up from battles in the desert. And I draw both my weapons to cut them off.
Nice. Okay. At this point, we are running out of time. So, what I will do is, if you guys are all okay with this, I will narrate the ending, and then you guys can all add in what your characters do, or what you think your characters figured out with all of this going on.
Perfect.
Okay. So, you cut them off. You declare your intentions of bringing them in for justice for what they did to Niccolo. And Sunny and Zilla both find themselves coming up behind and surprising them. And the guards put up a little bit of a fight. But you guys are easily able to take at least one of them down, and then they stop, realizing it's probably not a good idea. They come with, and they are taken away by the guards to be further investigated on the accusations of assassination or attempted assassination of Niccolo Ares, of House Ares. Niccolo is taken to the hospitals where he's cared for. And while he does recover, he doesn't make a full recovery. And there's still parts of him that move slowly.
Oh.
But he actually finds it suits him better because he no longer has to worry about travels or anything like that. He's able to focus on the things that he cares about more, which is helping to tend to the gardens and helping to create beauty within the city. And he finds himself in better graces with the prince and the princess, and he helps to continue to build their palace garden.
Good job, buddy.
Hell yeah.
So, who would like to go first for what their characters end up doing after all of this?
I'll go last.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. So kind of montage the ending for Cicera. First he'll kind of go to visit in the garden and check out some new exhibit that Niccolo has put up and just kind of marvel with it. And it'll kind of be that faraway shot. It's just the two of them kind of standing in twilight, kind of just looking over it. And I once again do that same thing from before, call back, and I do the shoulder pat and kind of just tip my hat with the feather in it and walk off. I walk back to the estate one more time, walk through it to the same halls, past the wardrobe I went through before, to behind the estate to an empty tomb where it has my name written with my birthday but no death date, and then beside it a name of what would have been my fiance before I left. Her name, her birthday, no death date, but her name's been scratched out. And I'll touch it kind of one time and then turn my back to it and walk off out of the city into the desert one more time.
Wow.
Oh,
That's rough, buddy.
all right. Who would like to go next? Sonny, would you like to go?
Sonny isn't 100% sure what to do with his life. Hopefully he made a decent amount of money, but probably not too much off of that bodyguarding business. But hey, maybe he could get into that a little bit more. Perhaps not working for the dog, but for other nobles in need of a little bit of muscle to follow them around.
All right. Zilla?
Yeah, I'm struggling with this, but I think we see Zilla wandering wandering along the canals of Vance, and with this fierce look of determination in her eyes, and as she walks by, her telekinetic abilities start flaring up, and like flowers start drifting out of baskets, and drop toys seem to dance almost menacingly, as because she's clearly upset, and while she's willing to take Arya on her statement that there's more going on here, she feels like she's been made the fool of, and is looking to find out what's really going on, and nothing's going to stand in her way.
All right. And Fee?
Awesome.
Well, Fee has had quite a lot of excitement in Vance, and it was a lovely time, but she's really thinking of turning her eyes back home. And when the dog wakes up at his appointed time, he finds nothing but a dress scented with lilacs and white musk and sweat left in his bed, neatly folded.
Ooh. All right.
Soliloquy.
I'd like to point out that I was talking to Rose during this, and she's like, "You seduced a major canon NPC. Good job."
Hell yeah.
Thank you for giving me that, Rose. All right. So that is it for our actual play for Cavaliers of Mars.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Yay! I hope you guys all enjoyed it.
It was
Super
fantastic.
fun.
So much fun.
The setting is fantastic, and it is so full of so much other places and fantastical people and creatures that you can meet. So if you are interested, you can go and pick it up on Drive-Thru RPG or at Indie Press Revolution. Congratulations to Disney for the win. You won a free digital copy of Cavaliers of Mars.
Woo!
Yeah.
So, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Our fundraisers are still going on tonight. This is I believe the last actual play that we have for the evening, for the whole convention. So please, please, please donate to the Thurgood Marshall College Fund or to the Bodana group. I do not know if they have reached their funding goals yet for the day.
But we would love to see them get there.
Yes, we would love to see them get there. So you can go to onyxpathcon.com to check out where they are for funding, and you can choose which one to donate to. It is completely up to your choice. If those two are not for your fancy, there are also many different bundles from Onyx Path that are on sale that support other Black Lives Matter charities. And you can get those all through drivethroughrpg.com.
Yes.
And yes, so you have your pick of charities that you can help out while getting really cool stuff. So thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you everyone for coming to Onyx PathCon. I'm Crystal, and I absolutely enjoyed storytelling this. This was actually my first time, so this was a lot of fun.
So good.
So if everyone would like to go around and say goodbye, tell us who you are again.
Okay, yeah. I'll keep it quick. I'm Harry, aka the Salubri Cat, on YouTube. I host the Saratoga
Oh shit,
Night.
that's you?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Great. Sorry, we've been following each other for a while. I'm just kind of like,
Oh yeah. Oh, what are you on Twitter?
Rufflejacks.
Oh yeah. Yep. I am. I also am the host of the Saratoga by Night podcast and the Controlled Chaos podcast. I'm on a bunch of stuff on the Onyx Path Twitch. Check me out. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Crystal, and all of you were wonderful. So yeah.
Yes. All right.
Hi, sorry. So hi, I'm Steve. You can find me at Vorpal Tales on Twitter and on Twitch Mondays and Fridays. We play a variety of different games with our live plays, and then on Wednesdays you can find me and the Vorpal Tales crew playing on the Onyx Path Twitch. So tune in and check us out.
Sweet.
I'm Martin. I'm relatively not super active on social media aside from consuming it. So, but Martin John Manco, and I've done a couple writing things, and it's been really fun. This is my first time trying it, and I want to find out more. Thank you.
Hi, I am Jacqueline Bryk, otherwise known as Rufflejacks. You may have seen my work in Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition, Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition, Vampire the Requiem 2nd Edition, Deviant the Renegade, They Came From Beneath the Sea, and a bunch of other delightful Onyx Path stuff. You can find me on Twitter as Rufflejacks. You can pretty much find me anywhere on the internet as Rufflejacks. I also have a website that has my entire design CV on it, which you can find at jacquelinebryk.design. That's JACQUELINEBRYK.design. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. My first time playing Cavaliers of Mars, but I have talked to Rose a lot about it because Rose and I share a lot of design philosophies. So being able to play it and play a character that was both very easy and enjoyable for me to play was super fun.
And I'm Crystal Mazur. I'm a freelance writer and game designer. You can find me on social media at Body and Soul 152, basically on any platform. And my website is thegeekypanda.com, where you can find my writer's CV, as well as my educational stuff. So thank you guys, everyone, for joining us. Have a wonderful night.
Care people.
Good one.
Bye.
Thanks for staying
Bye.
up.
Bye.